WTBQ.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for joining us on WTBQ for the Home and Mortgage Show. I'm Michael Giannetto, loan originator with Residential Home Funding.
Good morning, and I'm Janine Panarelli with Panarelli Realty. I'm the broker-owner of Panarelli Realty in Goshen. Good morning.
Good morning. Hope everybody had a fantastic and Merry Christmas. We did. How about you?
We certainly did.
Yeah? What'd you guys do?
What didn't we do? I'm exhausted.
7 fish?
I can't even move.
Did you cook the 7 fish?
Actually, we had to scale it down. We did like 5 fish. It's a lot.
Shellfish doesn't count.
It's a lot of cooking. It's a lot of preparation, cleaning, cooking, and it's just a lot. And then you make all this food, and there's only so much you can eat. You know. All right, we enjoy it the next day.
I don't give myself a limit. I just keep eating and eating.
Yeah, but you just you get violently ill.
Yes.
You know, you eat till you want to puke. Can't do that. Then you can't, you're not enjoying it anymore. If you have to save room for dessert, because in my house we have some good desserts.
Oh yeah. I think I gained about 3 pounds an hour.
Yeah, so
great day though.
We had a lot of fun. Get anything interesting you want to share?
Not myself. I did. We actually have in our studio here. We have my mother from Florida is joining us here, and my daughter Ella also sitting here. My daughter did get the gift of the season for sure.
Yeah.
She got a new iPhone.
An iPhone.
Yes.
Cool. So now she's going to be texting you all day.
Yes, of course.
She
woke up this morning. She woke up this morning, and the first thing that she did was text it.
My niece got an iPhone, something, and she was asking my daughter how to teach her how to use it. So, of course, we weren't even in the car, and she's already texting us, "We miss you. You know, we had a great day. I mean, we just got in the car. We just left your house." You know, it was a lot of fun.
They get excited.
Yeah, they
get
do.
Excited.
They do. I got some interesting stuff.
You did?
Yes.
Tell me.
Yes. I have to say, though, I asked for it. I did, specifically.
Did you sit on Santa's lap when you were asking for it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, actually. So, my job is kind of stressful. So, I'm not at the gym with you at 5:30 in the morning. So I thought, what a great idea, bring the gym to me.
There you go.
My husband got me one of those hanging Everlast bags.
Oh,
so
really? For boxing and kickboxing?
Yeah. And I got the gloves.
Take out your aggression?
I could take out my frustrations on
Instead
the bag.
of Mike.
Instead of, I come in the door and I'm like, you wouldn't believe what happened today. Hit the bag, babe. He's going to be like, go to the bag, bring it to the bag.
That's fantastic.
So that's what I did. So, hon, if you're listening, could you please have that bag hung by the time I get back today? We got to find a place.
That's a great gift, though.
We got to find a place to hang it. Yeah. So he got me all the wrap and, the gloves and everything I need. And so of course, my 23-year-old sitting there going, yeah, she gonna use it.
Right. Let's bet the under over. How long? How many days, weeks, or months?
Listen, that I'm gonna use. Unlike I'm still till this day. I bought one of those treadmill things.
And it's furniture.
It's in the garage. we put the snow pants over it and the ski suits, to dry. It's a clothes rack.
That's what it becomes.
So I'm never going to live that down. They're still busting on me for that. But this bag, I guarantee you, I'm going to need a new one by next Christmas because this industry is killing me. I'm going to need to beat it. Yeah.
Good.
So that I got. Yeah. And I got to see how nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah,
that's very
this
nice.
thing is so soft. Yeah, so it was very, very nice. We had a nice day.
Excellent.
I thought it was going to snow though. We didn't get any snow.
And we got a little dusting. And we got about, I would say,
really
a millimeter of snow.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
At least the kids were excited. They thought it was a white Christmas.
Yeah. So this week, we were talking about credit, and we were talking about what were we talking about?
Taxes. Yeah, the exemption, star exemption.
My mind is still on that eggnog I was having. That was so good.
Spiked eggnog.
With the butter pecan ice cream in it, with the brandy and the
That's good.
So.
Have you ever had coquito?
Cookie dough?
Yeah.
Oh, cojito, you mean?
Coquito.
Coquito.
No, coquito. It's something actually. One of the other agents
but I know
that I deal
Claudia
with makes
Jacobs
it.
does that.
Oh,
yeah,
she does?
She's coming in the studio in a few minutes. Yeah, Claudia Jacobs from Claudia Jacobs Designs. She's going to be joining us as our guest today. Yeah, but no, this was butter pecan. Holy.
Very nice.
Oh my God, the kids were dipping into it, so we had to be really careful because they didn't know. They see ice cream floating in a dish. You got to be in a big bowl. You got to be careful.
That's great.
So we were talking about property taxes. We were talking about. again,
Yeah, those star
the
exemptions.
star
and
exemptions,
things
all
like
that kind of stuff. So
Right.
buyers know to check taxes. Buyers now know to check their credit report. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about selling. What sellers need to do to prepare. Because now that the holidays, as fast as they came, that's as fast as they're going to go. So come the new year, people are going to start thinking, all right, maybe now's the time, before we don't have to want to take that Christmas tree and all that decorations out again and decorate next year. Let's pack it away because they're going to move. They're going to put the house on the market come springtime.
Let's
Talk about that.
Let's backtrack a second.
Okay, we're backtracking.
My Christmas decorating on the outside of the house. I was up. It was about 11 o'clock watching the Home Shopping Network, and I hadn't decorated the outside. Flipping through the channels, and my wife and I just happened to stop there, and because I never buy anything on there. I do buy things from infomercials, though. But
oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm the as seen on TV guy. But so we saw this light that projects onto the house and looks like little dots, red and green dots.
I've seen. Does it come with the slide? You slip it in the front. You can project like Santa on the front of the house.
No,
you were too cheap to buy that one, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh.
So this is just the dots.
You wouldn't buy the good one.
It's
just the dots.
Yes. So I hadn't decorated outside yet, and I decided, you know what, I want that. I picked up the phone, ordered it right there and then, and I set it up outside, and that was the Christmas decorations outside the house this year.
That was it?
I was too busy.
I thought I was bad.
It looked great, though.
I still had the wreath on my front door from last Christmas. And all the ribbon got a little faded, but hey, at night,
works.
You throw a light on it, nobody knew.
That's great.
We're so pathetic.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, my
I'm gonna
God.
agree.
That's horrible. Horrible.
That's worse than mine. That's worse. So anyway, sorry to backtrack, but so getting back to the selling and listing of properties.
Yeah.
I think we want to discuss what the best
you
way to go about
ready.
it, and
you got to get ready. First
to put
thing
it on the
is,
market, especially coming into the new year.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about putting your house on the market in the upcoming months, it's a great idea to call me in. I go through the house, take a look. There are some things that have to be fixed. They say, but the market's down. I don't want to put any more money into my house. But if a buyer is going to go with an FHA loan, you can't have broken window. Explain to people certain things you have to fix because it's not going to pass the FHA guidelines, and then it's going to be difficult for a buyer to get a loan.
Is there a situation where you would ever decline taking a listing for somebody?
I have in the past. People who've just been so unrealistic with the price. I'm not going to, I can't. It's not going to sell. And then down the road, they're going to be like, why isn't my house selling? Well, because I told you to price it at X, and you had me price it at X, Y, and Z, and it's just not going to sell.
Well,
so I'm not going to waste
funny,
advertising dollars on something that I know is not going to sell. There's two reasons why a house doesn't sell. It's price and marketing. It's not going to be my marketing. I'll tell you that right now. So it's going to be the price.
You do some great marketing. I've seen it.
I'm really good in
Personal
marketing.
experience.
So thank you. And so I tell them, look, and the thing of it is people have to understand, I don't make these numbers up. I'm not pulling them from thin air and just walking around, your house is worth X. There's documentation. If this house just sold down the block and it's very similar to yours, maybe you have central air and they didn't. Okay, central air is not worth $50,000, so you got to understand.
And neither is the fan that you're going to sell.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be more realistic. And then another problem too is I tell them, it's not going to appraise. So all the time, effort, energy, money we're going to put into marketing and all this, number one, you're not going to get a buyer. And if you do get a buyer and you negotiate down a little bit, then we still have that problem where the houses are not appraising. They're coming in lower, and then the seller's getting upset. Well, why should I have to lower my price? Because you can't get a mortgage on your house. You're asking too much money.
Right. So I'll tell you something funny. Actually, on the way here, I was having the conversation with my mother. Mm-hmm. She has a friend that's selling a condominium in New Hampshire. Oh. And she said she's had it on the market for a long time. Mm-hmm. She bought it for $325, and they have it on the market for $249 currently. But it's not selling. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I said to her was price.
Yeah.
Right? It's the price of the unit.
And the thing, too, you could have a price right, but nobody knows it exists because it's not being marketed properly. So it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. So, if anybody is thinking of putting their home on the market come springtime, you can give me a call at Panarelli Realty, 651-1776, and we're going to take a quick break and be right back.
New Year. Now celebrate by gifting yourself and your family with a new kitchen and let the professionals at Hudson Valley Kitchen Design take your dreams and make them into a reality, from concept to installation and everything in between. Our well-trained, courteous staff will customize your new kitchen while keeping it within your budget. Start living the dream by calling 845-294-8242, and we'll have you cooking on your new stove in no time. For all the do-it-yourselfers, builders, and contractors, we invite you to our retail showroom located at 2713 Route 17M in Goshen. And please like us on Facebook at the Hudson Valley Kitchen Design. Call 845-294-9068. We will make your dreams a reality in 2014.
This is attorney Bob Krahulik of the law firm Beatty & Krahulik, the lawyer guy on WTBQ Radio. Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for the latest in legal advice and tips. We're taking calls and giving answers to all your legal questions and issues on WTBQ.
Hi, it's Dr. Oz, inviting you to join me for your daily dose with Dr. Oz. I want to make sure you're informed. The number one weapon against illness is wellness. That's my daily mission.
Weekdays at 1:30 on WTBQ, radio worth listening to.
WTBQ.
We are back, and our guest just walked in. She was stuck behind an oil truck.
Yes, Claudia Jacobs of Claudia Jacobs Designs.
No.
In your own driveway.
Thank you.
So
That's
Claudia
great.
Jacobs.
It sounds like you're on
Claudia
Jeopardy
Jacobs
or something.
Designs. Yeah. Yeah, we're like, where is she? Stuck behind an oil truck. So how was your Christmas?
It was very nice.
It was very nice. Good.
Very
Good.
relaxing
We-
day with my kids yesterday.
Nice. It's always good to relax.
Yes.
A lot of cooking for you?
So
No.
no,
No?
I
do the
saw
seven fish?
I saw the post.
Excuse me. On Christmas Eve, we did the 7 fish at my parents' house, and yesterday I've adopted the Jewish tradition of bringing in Chinese food.
I saw.
Oh, there you go. My mother does that.
It's a great Italian tradition to start.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Janine, we know you would do that if you could, right? No? I catch you
Honey,
speechless?
never. I
No?
would never.
Yes, you would.
You never know. We were just talking about getting your house ready to be put on the market. And certain things need to be done because then you can't get a loan. A lot of people are going FHA. My one question for you, Claudia
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes, dear.
Because I saw the post. Who came up with this radiant orchid color?
Well, that has nothing to do with staging, but if your house
Yes.
was that color
Yes.
inside, I would have
What
you
would
paint it.
That was going to be my
Oh,
question.
so it was,
Yes.
it was
the
getting rid of the color.
It was, yes, that's where I was going with that.
Well, every year Pantone picks out a color of a year, and this year, next year, the orchid,
2014.
radiant orchid was selected. And my best advice is to avoid the trends for your home, especially for those main pieces of your home, like the furniture. Do not paint your wall that color.
You have to see this color.
It's
Interesting.
yeah, and you'll
Give an
see
example.
it more.
Give an example.
It's a pinkish, purpley, orchidy lavender color.
Is that the new fashion color? as
That'll
well
be
for
you'll see it in the stores in fashion and
Oh, really? Could you
pocket
picture
Do they
my
do that
skin
for the
tone
year?
with that color? That would be like,
We would both look a little
yeah.
sick in it.
You can't
yeah.
you can put an Italian and radiant orchid.
No. We could wear deep purple.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we
can
can't
pull that
wear-
off. But
yeah. Yeah. And Mike, well, you could wear a tie in that color. I think.
I
you would
wear
look-
purple all the
I've
time.
seen it with purple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
that would
wear
look
purple.
nice on you. It would be very
I don't know
sharp.
about the mauve.
But
kinda.
but would you wouldn't put it on your walls, would you?
No.
No.
Although you love the color on my daughter's wall.
Well, if you're
Turquoise.
well, of course.
That's my daughter's favorite color now.
It's turquoise.
They have very good taste.
Yeah, yeah. But then, so when you're bringing buyers into a home, though, I've seen that bright, like neon lime green. The really bright, those bright colors where you should have walked into the room with your sunglasses.
Well, a home
What do you
that needs to
recommend?
make especially with the open space concept, where one, room flows into another. It needs to be coordinated. There's nothing wrong with an radiant orchid bedroom if you're 12 or 13, in the teenage years, and that works fine. But I've seen beautiful homes with high prices, and it's the lavender home. Like everything in the home is lavender because that's what the homeowner loves, from the furniture to the walls to the drapes, and you can't get past that, and then you'll be known as the lavender home on the market.
Yes.
Is that with the shag carpet too?
Shag is actually making a comeback.
Oh,
in the
yeah?
area
Everything
rugs,
comes
yeah.
back.
Oh, I might have to get some of that.
Everything
I
comes
might have to
back.
get some of that.
It
That
does.
70s shag.
I got my daughter leg warmers for Christmas. They're back.
Are they?
Yeah, who knew?
Actually, my daughter
knew?
has them for dance.
Yeah,
She
who
has
knew? The
them.
leg warmers are back.
Are you gonna
so
wear them?
everything comes back.
Are you gonna wear them,
Am I
Janine?
going to wear them? Nah.
No, I'm not
No,
either.
but she'd probably.
I might try out a pair.
Yeah.
My legs are too short for leg warmers.
They'll fit your whole leg.
Hey, that's my friend.
Sorry, Claudia. So all right, let's get more into this.
Yeah.
I really wanted to know, is there any kind of statistic, whether it's national or regional or local, that you would be able to determine that staging a home is more successful than not staging a home in the sales?
Staged homes
sales
tend
results?
to sell faster than unstaged homes on the market. Of course, price factors into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how well the home is staged. If it's overpriced, that's an issue right
That's
there.
what we were just talking about.
Yeah,
so to me,
so-
staging is part of the marketing of the home.
Exactly, exactly. Because you can't change the location. You could only, play around with the price and how it's marketed, how it's presented, how the home is presented. Now, the cost of staging is less than the first price reduction. So
Interesting.
That's a great point to
There
bring
are
up.
homes on the market at all different price points that I have staged, and one in particular, I just opened up a Christmas card yesterday from my client in Monroe. The realtor paid for my services. I met with them on a Monday. I told them what to do. I returned on a Friday because they were very determined to sell their home. Staged it, took the listing photos, sent them to the realtor. The realtor listed the house December 8th. It's already sold.
There
Wow,
you go. Makes a
fantastic.
huge difference.
That's the ideal
It
situation.
makes a huge difference.
And to present it staged from the beginning, where there's more interest. A lot of
Oh, the
times,
first few weeks
instead
of
of,
the
instead
show.
of doing it
Absolutely.
after it's
Crucial.
listed and
and
find
what
out
I'm
what the reaction
finding
is.
this past year, I've been doing a lot of, which I call listing makeovers. The seller is contacting me because the realtor never suggested staging. And so, in a lot of cases, the seller wanted to stage, but the realtor said, "Yo, you don't need to do that." Red
Interesting.
flag. That's a red flag.
Interesting,
Yes.
because I usually go through the house. Well, you know me, and I'm
Right.
like, get rid of everything.
Absolutely.
Right, thin it out a little bit.
So what's
Take
been
all-
happening,
yeah,
the
declutter.
frustrated seller calls me up and says, okay, why isn't my house selling? So, I'm on the phone with them. I'm usually by my computer. What's the listing? I look online and I know immediately what has to be done. I go in. I'll give them instructions on what to do over the phone before I even get there, just to send them, save them money for my time.
Some homework, yeah.
Yeah, stage, take the listing photos. In a lot of cases, it sells right
Problem
away.
solved.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
It's all
So
in the
that's good,
visual
too.
and the presentation.
Good.
You mentioned something that I think is pretty interesting, where the realtor paid.
Yes.
So is that typical? Is that what happens?
No.
Or it's not typical?
There's one size does not fit all. There are many realtors in the area who will just strongly convince their seller to contact me, and it's up to them if they want to or not. And in a lot of cases, and it's not the norm, but there are quite a few realtors who will pay for my consultation. And it's up to the seller in some cases to have me come back. Like they'll only pay for the initial consultation, but then the seller will pay for my return.
Right, the actual.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is it normal for the realtor to be there while a seller has contacted you and have you come in? To
Most
look at the
aren't
property?
there, but they're more than welcome to be there for the initial consultation. And some realtors like to tag along just to see how I operate and, pick up for their own business because not everybody needs me. And I admit that because if you as a realtor, Janine, walk in and you make suggestions like you were talking about earlier, well, you're ahead of the game that you're doing that as a realtor. But a lot of realtors are afraid to be honest. They don't want to lose the listing.
That's one thing you get when you get me.
Yeah, Janine is very, very,
Yes.
very upfront.
But you know what,
I'll tell you
Janine?
like
Without
it is.
joking on our show, it is what I love about
Yes.
you. No nonsense.
Yes.
You
You
go
know what
in,
it is?
tell you what has to be done.
And I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear.
Exactly.
I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I look at it as neutral. And a lot of times when I'm on a listing appointment, I say, look, I'm not your listing agent. I'm your buyer. And I'm going to walk through your home like a buyer, and I'm going to think my thoughts out loud as I'm walking through your home because this is
Absolutely.
what buyers are going to think. As a seller, they're always thinking, I want top dollar, but they need to hear the thoughts of what the buyer is thinking, and some of it could be shocking. You know, I mean, we
yeah.
have
Sure.
homes that have strong cigarette smoke, pet odors. There's just a lot of things that when you walk through that front door, it like smacks you in the face.
And sometimes it's just a dirty house. And a lot of time, I mean, I have to tackle everything. So I have to be upfront and honest. And a realtor, the first time she suggested my services, I went in and she said, and I had to deal with the stinky house smell. And when we left, she said, oh my God, the way you presented the issue, you didn't insult them.
Right, you can't.
It's just you have this way about you that delivers the message without hurting them. And, you know, my little Italian comes out and the hands start going. And I just like, and you have to.
The head starts bobbing.
You got to deliver those
You're
upsetting
right.
messages.
And, you know, that people have to understand that you're the professional, I'm the professional. We're there to help them, okay? You know, all of this will mean nothing if we can't get the house sold.
No, right.
So, you know, they called us in for a reason. They called me for a reason. So, you know, we're there to guide them from beginning to end. And right from the get-go, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's not just staging. It's not just changing the colors on your wall. It's making some repairs. And that's what I was mentioning to Mike earlier today. Because you have to make some of those repairs. I know you don't want to sink any more money in because the market came down, but you have to.
Correct. I think. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go
So
ahead.
I think, you know, two sides of this is one is that staging, you know, for the amount of money that they have to spend is a lot less than the first reduction that you had mentioned, which is a great point. And on the other side, you know, doing minor repairs or minor things that have to be done, which we know plenty of people that can go in and whether it's a small job, big job, to go in and help people, where they do the littlest thing that will not be an eyesore, be a little more appealing, a little more curb appeal on the outside, things that will help people when that buyer pulls up and says, oh, wow, look at this.
Absolutely.
And there are ways to update where you're not spending a fortune just to refresh the home. And a lot of times, you know, I walk in and the seller is determined to remodel their kitchen. And I'm stopping them. I'm like, no, do not remodel your kitchen. And one case in particular, I just made some simple recommendations. And it turned out to be a for sale by owner. They did everything I suggested. The house sold like within a few days.
Yeah.
Which we don't really recommend completely to list for sale by owner because your success is a lot better.
But if that's
when
going
you do
to be
have a
my
realtor.
client, I am going to take the job.
Oh, of course. That was just a shameless plug for Janine.
I feel the love. Thank you. But what I wanted to do, try and get some. We went through, and I think this was just last week. I had asked you. I wanted to put together some kind of a checklist because there are homes where, and I'm finding this more and more. There's realtors who right away, and even buyers are calling me saying, you know, I see this house online. Does it qualify for an FHA? Okay, well, I've been in a lot of homes, and I'm driving constantly, but I haven't been in every home. So sometimes we need to know what does that house need, because if it is an FHA loan that they're interested in, and that railing is too low or too loose or something like that, it's going to be a problem. So what I want to do is, you had sent me that checklist.
Correct.
Let's put together a checklist and put that on the website.
I think on our next show, maybe we should cover a lot of that information of what people, you know, the do's and don'ts and the pitfalls.
Just,
of that.
go through the house with that checklist and they're inexpensive. We're talking about putting a screw in, you know, just to tighten things up a little bit. And then little things like that will add up, and a buyer's going to be able to get that FHA mortgage. So we're going to touch on that next week. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so Claudia, thank you for joining us today. Merry Christmas again, and have a Happy New Year.
Yes.
And to you.
Michael, you got any plans for the new year?
I do. Celebrate at 12 o'clock if I can stay up. Do the old banging of the pots and pans outside.
I don't. So now my thing is, I fall asleep around 11. And then I wake up just before the ball drops, you know, and then I'm like, oh, I've been up the whole time, you know, I just was, you know.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
All right. If you have any questions, you can
reach us. And have a Happy New Year.
Give us a call. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.